Chubstep.
Jrad.
Creating the oil of judgment.
Steed. Chubstep.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the king of the jungle.
Are you cutting your toenails with a steak knife?
I suppose you have a problem with that, too. Oh, botched toe. I botched that one. Oh, that's a botched job. That's bleeding. I need some trash to plug up the cut.
Who's in charge? Me or the devil? I think I'm in charge.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
And the show started.
Welcome back. Happy summer.
Happy summer, officially summer.
Officially. I don't know if it is officially. I don't know when the official start is. I know that
Yeah,
the
it's definitely
unofficial
unofficial. Yeah, for sure.
is Memorial Day. So
Memorial
but when
Week,
this comes out, you will be in summer mode.
You're in the heat of it. Yes. Yeah, Steed, Memorial Day. I've actually got some Memorial Day related things to talk about throughout the show. I wanted to first start with a confession.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a thief.
You are.
And I would like to apologize. I would not like to do any time for my thievery, but I think this public announcement will be enough punishment for me that we're going to be okay with this.
I think it depends. We'll see. The jury will judge you.
Okay, do you see this shirt I'm wearing here?
Uh-oh. Okay. You're
It's a
going
Callaway
to jail.
golf shirt,
You're going to jail.
size large. I went to Sam's Club today because I've got some new tires on my car and they were making a lot of noise. So I needed them to check if one of the tires was like off balance or something like that. You know, they messed up a tire.
Yeah.
So while this is going in, we're shopping around. I buy some totes to store some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get out of the store, we check out, and then I realized, did I ever buy that shirt? Because now I don't remember paying because I self-scanned.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Self-checkout. And I walk out of there, go back to my place later, and I realize the shirt had been sitting in the tote underneath other things.
Ooh.
I did not pay the $21 that the shirt was.
You stole that shirt.
This was a stolen shirt, unintentionally.
They might get you.
But I just wanted, no, this was fine. This is a public apology. I just said it's fine. This is payment. Because I'm giving Sam's Club a free advertisement on the show. Which
If
is
they pull
some would
the
say
tapes,
priceless.
if they pull those tapes, you're gonna look pretty guilty.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's true. You know what? I think I think there's times sometimes where some people get, maybe they scan my papaya twice, right? Maybe I'm paying twice for one papaya.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, I think it evens out in the long run.
Yeah, normally I don't scan my papayas at all.
Well, if other people are scanning them, I've seen times, the other day, some guy, he scanned something twice. He caught it at the last second, but I almost paid for something twice. You don't have time to check a whole receipt. I'm not going to hold up the line behind me as I'm checking this out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good on you for thieving.
Okay.
And getting away with it.
Yeah.
You were acting so natural. They had no idea.
It's not my first time I've stolen something. I stole some zebra cakes in middle school one time. I did feel very bad about that. That was intentional.
Wow.
I didn't do it again, but this is my second time stealing. And I just I had to make a public announcement. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, hopefully the memorial veterans let you off. I don't think they will.
Yeah. The memorial veterans that work at Sam's Club?
Yeah. There's a lot of them.
Exactly. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So, all right, Steve.
Jay, we had Trevor on. Was that last episode now?
Yeah, last episode.
Okay. Yeah, and he talked about food icks when people take the last appetizer.
Yes. Yes.
I got another food ick.
Okay.
I witnessed this. I witnessed my grandma do this.
Oh, tough for the grandma. I would say
Yeah.
there's a high bet she's probably not going to break at this point, but continue. Yeah.
This was a bad look. So we got a pizza ordered. We're all taking the pieces of pizza out of the box. It's cut into slices, New York style. None of this square bullshit.
Sure.
I take a piece, someone else takes a piece. There's this there's a slice open, so there's two pieces on the side of the openness, two ready to grab slices, and
Okay,
she
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
disregards the ready to grab slices
Oh no.
and picks a different one,
Yes, yes, yes.
creating mayhem in the pizza box. The
Yes.
pieces all over the place.
Well, then that's pulling off more cheese. When you take one out of the middle, when you've got a slice on each side, you take one out of the middle, it is pulling the cheese on both sides. You're going to get even if you get a good slice in there, as the cheese starts melting, they go back together slightly. So now she has now removed cheese from future pieces for other people.
Yes, ruin the integrity of the entire pizza.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I witnessed this and I was appalled, but I kept my mouth shut.
I guess you're a good grandson.
Yeah, like the Sam's Club employees did when they watched you walking out with that shirt.
Does that make them a good employee to not call me out on stealing a shirt?
It makes him a good grandson.
Yeah, there we go.
Maybe you're their grandfather.
I was holding a crying baby at the time. So
okay. Yeah,
bad.
use the baby.
They're just like, get this guy out of here. He does not like Sam's Club, turns out. So, okay, Steve, yeah, that, you know what, one I wouldn't have thought about, because I would assume only somebody with some sort of twisted mind would do something like that. You wouldn't think a sweet old lady like grandma would
I know.
go ahead and grab that cheese piece.
I didn't even eat any of the rest of the pizza.
Yeah, just out of principle.
Yeah, I went out and got fried chicken. I was like,
Good.
this is bullshit. I can't do it.
I can't be involved in this meal.
Yeah.
This is too insane of a move.
Yeah, so it was a good visit. It was fun.
That was good, Steve. Yeah. So when we and you and me saw each other the other day, 2 days ago, yesterday. So you made a margarita mix for everybody.
Yeah.
And some people were saying, I didn't say, well, actually, I heard two descriptions of this margarita mix. First of all, you had it
was no mix. I made this. This was handmade.
Well, no, you made this. The mix, I mean, wasn't a pre-made mix. You made this margarita.
Yeah.
And you had a margarita shirt on. When you described the margarita mixture, you said it's syrupy.
It's thick. I said thick.
You thick like a syrup, you said. And then later I heard this is very tequila heavy. There's a lot of tequila in it, right? No, I'm just telling you. So, right, these are the two things we had. And then we were talking, well, why would it have a lot of tequila? You said you followed the Casamigos recipe.
Yeah.
Right?
Clune dog.
And then me and the guy that said this, we're talking, well, maybe the Casamigos recipe, the recipe from a brand that makes tequila wants you to use a lot of tequila in a margarita so that you buy more of their product.
Yeah. So this is the standard ratio of margaritas, though. Okay. This wasn't crazy,
Then why did you feel the need to say this is the Casamigos recipe?
Because I wanted to justify that how classy I was.
Okay. Even though we didn't use Casamigos tequila.
No, which is probably why it was a little tequila heavy, because I skimped on the tequila.
That's a good point.
But I was buying like 2 gallons of tequila.
Yeah, you're not going to buy the nice stuff. Yeah, no, I agree. You're doing a party thing. You're not doing the high end stuff.
Yeah, and nice. It worked. The last drop of that was served by the host's son, his 4-year-old son. He was serving them up at the end.
Oh, good. Not drinking them, just serving them.
Yeah, he was serving them. He was taking orders.
So good.
Mine only cost $1 of fake money, and then by like the third person, it was up to like $2,000.
Fake money?
Yeah, okay. That he was charging people, and I was like, "Ooh, I got away easy."
It's like a long-term debt. If people think it's fake money, and then in like 10 years he comes for you.
He's gonna collect.
Yeah, he's gonna collect.
He has a little notebook. He writes it down in.
I like it. I like it. I was thinking, see, there was that they had a big children's slide there, and I was wondering at what point. I mean, we're not worried about this, but there was only a few of full-size people. I call them not adults, full-size people going on the slide. You, me, and maybe 2 other people.
Yeah. I mean, I think you left, and then
a few more did.
And more started going.
Okay. Some people I feel like think it's beneath them to do that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They turn their nose at us.
They scoff at it.
They scoff at us. Yes.
That's the noises they make.
Yes, not me.
Yeah. I don't get that. Anyone can enjoy a slide,
Yes.
especially one with water lubricating it.
Especially water lubricated slide where you end in a big pool of warm water.
Warm water is heated water.
Heated water. Also have been, kids have been floating around in this, probably pissing also in the water to keep it extra warm.
Yeah, but there was soap dumped into it. Somebody had the
Yes.
forethought to dump some
Yes.
soap in there.
It was a smart move. Yeah, it was soapy. I did get a little bath, yeah, as you kind of land in it. No, yeah, I agree. I just, I feel like there's always people there that are like, I'm too old for that.
Yeah, which is BS.
What age do you think would be too old? Is there an age?
Yeah, if like your what is it? Your uterus falls out as a woman on
Is
its
that
own.
there's an age that happens?
I don't know if it's like a specific age, but it's a thing.
Okay.
Menopause.
You do know
when they go through menopause.
Okay, so a woman. Okay, what about it for a man?
When your partner goes through menopause.
Okay, what if you're single?
Then you keep going down that goddamn slide.
Okay. If you're
Like
single,
me.
you're allowed to go forever. I like that. My thought would be it's not so much an age, it's a relation to the people around. If you don't know anybody at the party and you're over 25 years old, you should not be going down the slide with kids.
That's fair. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I know these kids.
Yeah, I was aware you knew the kids. But if, like, say a neighbor showed up that really didn't know anybody and he's like 55, I would find that strange.
He's like, let me go down.
Yeah, and he didn't bring anybody.
I want to be in the water with all the little babies.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing. But okay, so Steed says if you or your partner has gone through menopause, you cannot go down the kid slide. If you were single, you could go down the kid slide forever, as long as you know the kids involved.
You have to know the kids.
Yeah.
Like I was handling the kids too. I wasn't just like going down myself. I was handling the kids.
Handling them appropriately.
In a respectful way.
Okay. Yes. It was very appropriate, very kosher. Yeah.
People applauded me. They said, "Wow, what handling? What handling of kids in swimsuits? This is a textbook class." Textbook class on how to properly handle kids in swimsuits.
You should teach a class. On that.
Where to put your hands, where your eyes should be looking.
God. Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
Oh God, I'm going to jail.
Okay. No, you're not, because you do so well handling.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Well, you should be celebrated for that, Seed. So, okay. I know you've got this big. I don't want to stop you from getting to your thing you teased last week.
Yeah. You want to get into that?
Do you want to start with that, or I got something first? What do you want?
You can go first. Okay. We'll give the people.
Since we're talking about Memorial Day, I wanted to go into a little bit of the I guess the origin of this. Isn't a Chub history. This is a little more of a Chub controversy.
Oh,
I don't really have a good name. That if somebody can think of a good name, Chub controversy, Chub investigation. This is more of a Chub investigation. I would say.
Chubtraversy.
Yeah, Chubtraversy. Thank you. So this is about the start of Memorial Day.
Shit.
Okay, we know it now as a Monday, right? It's always on a Monday to give people a 3-day weekend. It used to just be May 30th. So I think it was in the 70s they changed this to the Monday thing, and some people were a little bit upset because then they're like, "Oh, you're commercializing this. You're giving everybody a holiday," when in reality, this is just supposed to be something just to dedicate to the fallen soldiers, right? People also confuse this with Veterans Day sometimes.
Yeah.
This is for people that have died in the military.
I don't think that all the veterans died on May 30th, or all the memorial guys died on May 30th.
No, they did not. Turns out. So to your point, Steve, I don't think it doesn't hold a lot of water, that argument. So it was 1966, I believe it was, when Lyndon B. Johnson made it change a couple things. Lyndon B. Johnson also did something very controversial. A lot of actually just people have done kind of a crazy history on Lyndon B. Johnson, insane president. Just a lot of the stuff he did behind closed doors, but he officially signed Waterloo, New York, as the birthplace of Memorial Day. Now, why do you need to pick the start of a holidays? Why do you need to decide on the origins of that? Unclear. Like, as far as why do you need to make this the official start place of it? But turns out when he did that, that pissed off a lot of people.
Oh,
Because there are over 25 towns that claim to be the start of Memorial Day.
Come on, son.
They claim that it started there.
oh, that's a lot of towns.
And they say this because it said it entered its first Memorial Day on May 5th, 1866. And businesses closed businesses closed, they flew the flags at half staff, and residents decorated like fallen graves of soldiers, or graves of fallen soldiers. The graves were still standing. They had not fallen. The soldiers
they
had
didn't
fallen.
push them over. Okay.
Yes, they didn't push them over. That would have been against kind of the point of this. But sounds like this was a classic case of some fake news.
Oh, no.
Because according to the Genesis, and this is a whole Time magazine article that I read a lot,
Okay.
a long article. So I think this is fairly legit news, I would hope. I think Time has got a decent reputation, but what doesn't is this guy wrote this book, The Genesis of the Memorial Day Holiday in America. This guy, Daniel Bellware, wrote this. And anyway, if you want to, you can be able to read all about the story. There's more to this than this. But he basically said Waterloo did not have a Memorial Day ceremony in 1866. It was a misprint, and it actually was celebrated in 1868. But there was
2 years.
So 2 years later. But it was, the Waterloo, you can even check in the Waterloo Observer that the guy that officially started this, who they said died 7 months after the first Memorial Day, he died in 1968, not 1966.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, apparently it was a misprint, and they later corrected it within a week. But at that point, people had already said, "Oh, this is the first one." It came out like 1883. Basically, somebody said, "Oh, we had hosted the first one in 1866," and then a week later, they said we meant 1868. But at that point, it had already gotten out there that this was like the place where it started. So, like a bunch of places like Carbondale, Illinois, even, who said they had a bunch of like women that decorated soldiers things, they would do that. A lot of these were like smaller things that happened, right? But they claim that this guy in Waterloo was traveling in 1866, saw these towns doing these things on Memorial Day, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to do that in Waterloo." But it had already been going on for at least 2 years in other places. It originally started for the Civil War troops on both sides, which is a little controversial. Somehow the president officially named Waterloo the official spot, but most of the evidence seems to suggest that it was actually not started in Waterloo, New York, even though if you go to Waterloo, New York, the big sign on the front says, "Welcome to Waterloo, New York, the birthplace of Memorial Day, May 5th, 1866.
That's, I'm never going there.
You can visit the Memorial Day Museum at 35th East Main Street. So
I'm never, we should boycott that.
Boycott Memorial Day or boycott
Waterloo,
New York,
the whole town.
New York. I'm fine with that as well. So, because we should keep honoring Memorial Day, because I think it's, it's an important holiday to remember people who have passed away fighting for the country. But let's not give Waterloo credit, because this is clearly something people were already doing. This was right after the Civil War, right? We're talking 1866. This is 2 years after the Civil War has basically ended. Maybe one to two years. So I'm an idiot. 65. Okay, so this is only a year. Yeah. 1861, 1865. This is only a year later that people started doing this. So that makes sense. The war was fresh. People were doing these sort of memorable things in the spring. Flowers are blooming, right? So they've got people that have fresh flowers. They're putting them on soldiers' things. One guy basically just decides, "Oh, we're going to shut down some businesses." Some places had already done this. They take credit for it. Boycotting.
He's a hack.
Now, obviously, Waterloo would say everything to the opposite of that, right?
Screw Waterloo, dude.
Okay. Just wanted officially, Chubb investigation. Where did it start? I don't think it's Waterloo, based on this Time magazine article. So
yeah, they have a population of 5,000, so we could take them down easy.
They don't have a lot going for them, though, Steve. I think it's very clear that this is a important thing to them.
They're right next to Seneca Falls and Geneva and the Finger Lakes. They have a lot going for them.
Okay. All right. They're good. Okay.
They don't need Memorial Day.
Good point. That's what I had. I just want to give people a little backstory. Chubb investigation, because you might think you knew if you happen to have driven through, but don't believe everything you see, and don't believe the fake news. That's what happens.
Don't believe Waterloo fake news. Yeah, they're just trying to sell souvenirs.
Exactly.
Damn you, Lyndon B. Johnson.
Look at those shoes. What are you, 95?
Typical Chad.
All right, see, let's get to your thing. I just needed to throw that out there.
All right. Well, I like that, and I'm glad that I hate an entire town now.
Good.
Okay, so during my investigation into the first flight last week, did Wilbur and Orville Wright actually make the first fly thing?
Yes. And so were you somewhat in the area when this was going on? Like, how close were you to where like the first?
I'm assuming. To the beach, like 3 hours.
No. To the where they launched the first plane.
Yeah, like 3 hours because they did it on the beach.
Okay.
Somewhere. It could have been 5 hours. I don't know. Wasn't interested in that.
Yeah. That doesn't matter. I just wonder if that's why it came up, is because you were like in the general area.
Yeah. Yeah, it is kind of.
So this is the Chub history, right, Steve?
Yeah, Chub history. History.
Blood alone moves the wheels of history. Have you ever asked yourselves in an hour of meditation, which everyone finds during the day, how long we have been striving for greatness?
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
America is the richest, most powerful nation on earth. If America was a woman, America would be a big titty woman. And everybody loves a big titty woman.
In less than an hour, aircraft from here will join others from around the world. And you will be launching the largest aerial battle in the history of mankind.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chub history.
Please clap.
So I was looking it up and I was trying to see if because there's a lot of controversy on if they were the first guys to fly. And there was guys in France that were flying shit. And there was dirigibles, which are like hot air balloons, but those are kind of bullshit.
That's a fun name too.
Yeah, it's a great name.
Yeah.
They're dirige and they're able.
Sure.
It just reminds me of a strong material. I don't know why. Maybe that's what it means.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, I got sidetracked because I saw that Wilbur Wilbur? Yeah, Wilbur Wright, the leader of the Wrights by many accounts. He was injured in a hockey accident when he was a teenager.
Good tie to yourself here. Did you ever get injured in hockey?
Minorly, nothing like old Wilbur did.
Okay.
So this was like a pre-hockey thing because hockey wasn't even a sport yet. This was shinny.
Shinny.
Which is basically hockey, I guess. Anyway, him and his bro and some neighborhood hooligans, they're playing some shinny in Dayton, Ohio, on a lake, playing some pond puck in 1885, 1886. Wilbur's like a star athlete at this point, like getting good grades. He's going to go to Yale. Shinny accident, or was it? He gets smashed in the face with a hockey stick.
Oh.
It knocks out like all of his front teeth. Like his whole face is messed up.
Slashing. They probably didn't have the penalty then.
It sounds like this was more of a violent baseball bat swing based on his injuries.
So what would they call that? And what would the penalty be officially at hockey?
I guess it would be a high sticking.
High sticking, okay.
Maybe a slashing.
Okay.
Game misconduct.
Yeah, you're out.
Yeah, so it ended up taking him like years to recover from this. He got like face injuries, jaw injuries. He had to get fake teeth. Like he had digestive problems, heart palpitations. He went into like this crazy depression. And it ended up actually, instead of going to Yale, he ended up like, he's getting depressed and he would care for his mother who was like ill.
Wait, so why did the person do this? Just a person he was playing with and just decided to whack him in the face?
Yeah, he whacked him in the face. Well, he's going to be the main.
Okay, well, we'll get
main
to that
part
later.
of this story.
Okay.
We're going to get to him in 2 seconds, but I'm just going to close out the whack for Wilbur. So he ended up not going to Yale. He studied and just like read books in his dad's library and like got super into flight and mechanical stuff. And
sure.
He ended up opening a bicycle repair shop, and then him and his bro, like, whatever, eventually did the planes. So had he not been smacked in the face with this hockey stick, he would have went to Yale, separated from his brother, probably never ended up doing the plane stuff.
Okay, so injuries can be good.
Yeah, so the whack in the face changed the course of not only aviation history, but American history. First in flight, baby.
Nice.
We did it. We beat those Brits. Okay, so the guy that whacked him, he was kind of at the time, he was a neighborhood bully. His name was Oliver Haw. He's got a middle name. What's his stupid middle? Oliver Crookhaw. Fitting for Oliver Crookhaw. And he is a fun gentleman. So, he whacks Wilbur in the face, and then he kind of gets like in the history books. So he was, I think, 3 years younger than Wilbur. Lives 2 blocks away. He worked at a drugstore at the time.
Okay.
And he was like a pharmacist. And he had painful rotting teeth. So what does a good pharmacist prescribe himself with?
Yeah.
Cocaine tooth drops.
I was gonna say some sort of drugs. Yeah, hard drugs.
Yeah, cocaine specifically.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
So he's maybe the cocaine played into why he whacked him in the face. He was, smash him. But yeah, this guy was just self-medicating himself from the pharmacy he worked at with cocaine tooth drops and cures from these old cures, which were like medicine pamphlets. This one,
sure.
These were Bateman's pectoral drops from the King's American Dispensary.
Nice.
And the main ingredient was opium.
Oh God.
So he's just doing cocaine and opium.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whacks him in the face, and then I guess like he shows up in history, but his life story is fun. So we're gonna go through his life story.
Okay.
The guy that caused planes to fly. So after he, I guess, gets high and smashes him in the face, the guy at the pharmacy, like the doctor who he's like studying under, he's like, "Oh, you're good enough. You should go to medical school." And he puts him into medical school. And then quickly he kind of falls out of this first medical school, Cincinnati Medical College, in 1888. Yeah. But he does find a nice woman there.
Okay.
Anna Margaret Eckley. And Anna's dad kind of doesn't want them to, get married, because she's like, this guy sucks.
This guy's a druggie who just failed out of medical school and has violent behaviors. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then, oops, he dies.
The dad dies?
Dad dies.
Okay.
Rumored to be his first victim. Oliver Brooke.
Oh my God.
First victim. This one, it can't be proven. Cause of death was pulmonary apoplexy. Dr. Daniel will know what that is. Not many other people will.
I know some of these words.
I don't even know what it is. So then he takes the inheritance. I am a scientist. So maybe I do know. I just don't want to reveal it. But yeah, he takes the inheritance is from this dead guy, marries Anna.
God.
Goes back to medical school.
Yeah.
This time at Miami Medical College, which is the Cincinnati Miami one. I never understood that.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
He's asked to leave after one semester from his second attempt.
Shocking.
Okay. He then goes to Louisville Medical College, and he actually graduates this time.
Okay. Not a good look for Louisville.
Yeah, in 1893. So it only took him 6 years. 6 years total, which, I mean, nowadays standards, that's pretty normal. Back in the day, it probably took about a year and a half to be a doctor. And then quickly after he graduates, he read the book, which came out in 1886, Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And now his grand plan is he wants to change science forever and create a new race of beings to evolve humanity.
Good.
He ended up believing that two beings could share a single body, like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
So that's a good thing. I don't know of anybody that has read Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. People are pretty familiar with the story, and somebody that knows the story and then thought that's a good thing. That's an interesting take on that story. That's a positive experience that somebody would.
Yeah, I don't like. I know of the story. I've never actually like read the book.
But you know the concept of what it is.
Yeah, I know the concept. Dr. Jekyll is the good bad guy. Mr. Hyde's the bad guy. I don't know. There's two guys. One's crazy. This is a quote from him. He says, "Ooh, should I do a? I'll do a old timey. I can't do an old timey accent.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, give it a shot.
I'm at work on the evolution of a drug which in its perfection will create a new era of science, a new order of thoughts, and a new race of beings. I will bring into the reality of days something more wonderful than Stevenson and his wildest dreams ever imagined. I'll prove that he only suggested the certainty that two beings can exist in one body, one blotting out the influence of the other."
Again, why? Why?
He's on cocaine and opium. That's why.
Yeah, good point. Good point. I forgot about the hard drugs are still there.
Yeah, and he just like doesn't stop.
Yeah,
doing the opium. But he opens his first medical practice in Ohio.
Okay.
But it quickly closes because he's like never sober. And like his patients would find him just like messed up on drugs and like sometimes naked and stuff.
Trying to make two people into one person.
Yeah. And he's like trying to smush their brains together.
Yeah. No, I came in because I have a cough, but okay.
Yeah. Anna's trying to divorce him. Like she tries to leave him one time and then she stays because she finds out she's pregnant. I'm sure
he's a good father.
Yeah, and then like around the time his first medical practice closed, I think he goes to an asylum for the first time.
Oh, good.
Yeah. But he gets out. Yeah. Yeah. So then after he gets out of this one, he kind of starts just bouncing around like different cities. He eventually has to bail out of Dayton, Ohio, because everybody's like, this guy's a piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he'll like leave and go to Milwaukee, and his wife Anna like stays behind, and he like marries, I guess, 4 or like 7 different women.
I love the world before the internet where you could just get away with like, yeah, I'm not married.
It's crazy.
You're gonna get married?
Yeah. So he would he would just like, his medical practice would fail. He'd move, abandon his wife, go to a new place, find a new wife, and then start a new medical thing. And then, yeah, he's just doing this shit for a while.
Love that. Insane.
Yeah, he's having a good time. He's living the dream. He marries one woman in Michigan named Delia, who ends up testifying later. And because he was married to Anna legally still, he was like, "Oh no, Dahlia's my wife. She can't testify against me." And they're like, "Well, you can't be married."
Yeah, legally you can only be married once.
Yeah, exactly. They let that testimony go in court. And when he breaks up with this woman because she finds out that he's married to Anna, she leaves him, and then he goes and takes care of her mother, Delia's mother, and then she mysteriously dies in 1903.
God.
Red flag. Weird.
Yeah.
I don't know why your fake husband would be the one to go take care of your mom, but
my husband that I told you how great he was before. Well, he's been married a bunch of other times. Do you want him to take care of you? We're separating.
Yeah, it'll be fun. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so after Delia's mom dies, gets murdered, he goes back to another asylum. I guess Dahlia kind of sent him there, something. Wow. She had something to do with it.
No faith.
Yeah, and then gets out of this thing in Lebanon, Ohio, gets out of the asylum. He's like off the opium or whatever. And he meets Jenny Toohey and Dr. Samuel S. Herman. He starts dating Jenny. Uses some inheritance that Jenny had. Starts a new doctorship in Lima, Ohio. Okay. And apparently tells Dr. Herman that this is just like a random thing. He told this other doctor that he killed several women while performing abortions and that he wants to kill his brother, Jesse.
God.
And that he would kill Dr. Herman if he tried anything funny.
Oh God.
It's like,
Great intro to somebody.
yeah. All right, thanks. That doctor's
Weird.
office fails.
Okay.
Jenny, who's now addicted to cocaine and morphine, because Hall got her addicted to cocaine and morphine, they moved to Cleveland, open up a saloon. They get fined for operating a business where prostitution took place.
Oh my God.
Where he also practiced medicine. He opens a saloon/doctor's office where prostitution.
It's a classic pairing.
So that sounds like a cool place to be.
Yeah. What would you like? You want a Miller Lite or a penicillin?
Yeah. Most of both. I would take both.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he ends up going to jail for disorderly conduct from some going on at this place. While he's in jail, his girlfriend Jenny dies. Sad. So then he gets out, opens and closes businesses, eventually just runs out of money. Moves back in with his parents in Dayton, Ohio. Because his wife, Anna, when he moves back, she's like, no, I'm not going to live with you, you piece of shit. Because he still went back to her.
He's got to try. He's got to try true love, right?
Yeah. And now she actually does file for divorce.
Oh, that's good. Okay. That's what it took. Yeah.
Yeah. Good for her. And then more bad news. His parents are like, you're a piece of shit. You're cut out of our will.
Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah. And he doesn't take too kindly to that.
He seems pretty reasonable so far, but yeah, okay.
Yeah. November 5th, 1905. Uh-oh. The Haw family home lights on fire.
God.
Old Ollie Crook Haw runs out screaming for help. And he's like, oh my gosh, my family's on fire. I woke up with smoke in my room. And then people are like, well, what's that trail of oil leading out of the house?
Yeah.
And he's like, what? And he's arrested.
Oh God.
It's found out that he bought, a bunch of oil. I guess he ordered it.
Yeah.
Witnesses saw the trail of oil. He also rushed a bulk order of hyoscine hydrobromide, which this was part of his treatment in the insane asylums.
Yeah.
I guess it just like calms you down or whatever. I don't know the ethics of the drug. They might not even use it anymore, but
I'm assuming everything that was done in the insane asylum during that time would be completely illegal now.
Yeah, it would probably hurt his brain even more.
Yeah.
So he gets that, and then he just ordered a shit ton of it because it causes paralysis. So, it's pretty clear he injected his family with drugs, paralyzed them, burns the house down, and then he's arrested for murder.
Yeah.
Pleads not guilty though.
Yeah, well, he didn't do it. Yeah.
Yeah, he did not do it. His family was actually, this is weird. They buried them in a single casket because so few remains were left.
Oh God.
And I'm like, what? You can't split it up? I don't want to be jumbled up.
Yeah.
We were in different. It's not like we're in a pile when we got burned. Put me in a different casket.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
that's my take.
No, I agree. Yeah, don't let me get like that.
Yeah. So he tries to do the insanity defense. They're like, no, you're sane. Whatever. He loses. They execute him. Electric chair.
Oh, he dies. So he ends up getting convicted of this.
Yeah, a short. So this is like a multiple murder trial. It lasted 10 days.
Wow.
And I guess it took the jury like no time to be like.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, this guy's a psycho.
Yeah, and they execute him. So they think, they actually think he had been married 9 times.
Oh my God.
4 of his wives were killed with the same hyoscine injections to the spine. They think the total count of victims is 13 people that he killed.
Wow.
Yeah. And this another quote from him. This brings back to the Jekyll and Hyde stuff. This is after he's caught in jail, I guess, awaiting execution. And he said, "They say that I murdered my father, my mother, and my brother with hyoscine for the sake of money. Then they say that when I have taken enough of the hyoscine, the man within me disappears, and Hyde is the power.
It seems, and though I must do something, destroy something, my only recourse is to get out into the street, out into the open country, away from men and women, lest I murder them. It is possible for me to have murdered these people and know nothing of it. All that I do know is that if I die for these crimes, I shall at least have established the proof of the theory on which I have always insisted, that two beings, one of good, the other of evil, may exist in the same man, and in that respect, at least I shall have rendered a distinct service to posterity.
Love that. I love when you get a good line that they record, like this is your final phrase. Okay. A couple of my thoughts here, Steve. I mean, what was the good? I didn't see the good part.
He was a doctor. He did doctoring. Yeah, he might have been one of the
failed
shittiest
doctor that
doctors
failed
in
out of
the
medical
country.
school twice and that had multiple failed practices. Yeah, right. Technically doctor. You're right.
When he wasn't
okay,
like beating his wife, he was a decent guy.
Yeah, but he wasn't cheating and beating on his wife and killing his wives or killing people. Yeah. Okay. So his argument is basically if you black out and don't remember doing something, you've now created a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde scenario.
Yep. If you take enough hydroskene.
Well, I mean, I mean, it's going to translate to alcohol. If he was drinking enough alcohol, blacks out, does something he doesn't remember, that's a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde scenario. Two beings living in the same body.
It really is. So he was right.
Good spin zone. Good spin zone.
He spun his life pretty well.
Guys, yeah.
But if we didn't have him, we would not have been the first country to fly an airplane.
Wow. Because he, without a psycho, hitting
that guy,
one of the Wright brothers, and causing him to become a nerd and study up on flying.
Yep.
And drop sports.
Mm-hmm.
We would still be driving, taking a steamboat over to France.
Yeah.
And people want to go visit there.
Take forever.
Yeah. Wow. So that leaves me with one question. Do we boycott flying because it has a bad history?
Oh, yeah, because a lot of people had to die for flying. Yep. I don't think we boycott it because, like, other people were literally making planes at the same exact time.
Okay.
When I was looking it up, it's just like, yeah, the Wright brothers were first, but like some guy in like Argentina or I forget, it might have been Brazil. It was like they had a flying machine that was like ready to go. Then like a guy in Europe somewhere had a flying machine, but like it kind of worked, but they didn't patent anything. And the Wright brothers like might have stolen a bunch of their like technology.
Oh, hilarious! So
and then patented it themselves. Yeah, like people were gonna fly. People were gonna fly within a year.
Okay.
Had the Wright brothers not done it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's a crazy story. So yeah, who would have known this guy that like at the time you're just like, God, who's that psycho kid that hit me in?
Yeah.
You know, at the time everybody's like,
is Oliver Crook's deal, man?
Yeah, dude, what's up with him? And little they know that was just the start of a much more insane life.
Yeah, oh my. Yeah, like if he lived nowadays, he'd be obsessed with some crazy. He'd be obsessed with like the Twilight series and just be biting people on the neck. Like full blown serial killer.
The bath salt type of thing. People are doing those and like eating people's faces.
Yeah.
That would have been him. He would have been the start of that. Yeah. And again, he just you can't have those kind of lives anymore. Not as easily. I'm sure it's still possible, but like you just have the internet to look up, like you got to change your name. And then if you change your name, you can't really start a doctor practice.
Well, you can do it.
Medical
you just
practice.
Don't have a Facebook, don't have any social media. You never let your significant other see your ID.
Yes. Okay. That's fair.
And then you just give them a fake name.
Perfect.
Hey, my name is Billy Jones. And then if, a bouncer is ever like, can I see your ID? You just like hide it.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, you're right. Fake.
Then you're good.
Fakes or something.
You can bounce around a bit.
Yeah. So thank you. I know. Now every time I fly, I'll think of, or every time I see some shinny being played out there, also known as, pond hockey or pickup hockey. If I see some shinny, now I'm thinking maybe one of those kids.
Well, I'm going to go out there.
I'm going to go out there and take a swing just to see if I can help out.
Yeah, exactly.
His mom comes up screaming at me. Trust me, you'll thank me later.
Go look up Wilbur Wright. You're welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you, Steve. That's a great story. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Good find.
Weird find. Yeah.
Good find. All right, we'll wrap up the show there. People email the show, chubstep.podcast@gmail.com. Watch us on YouTube, Chubstep Podcast, Spotify, wherever you find podcasts, and rate us, 5 stars if you can. Email the show, chubstep.podcast@gmail.com. Already said that. New shows every Thursday. The show has ended. Be gone.
Now you know you got to go.
Peace. This is Yasin.